Hello, good evening, good evening. Welcome everybody to yet another Etoile Europe conversation, leadership conversation. I want to welcome all our friends all around the world today. Wherever you're watching from, today is another leadership conversation around the world. Please welcome. I want to welcome you today, every one of us. At the same time, I think I'm just getting many calls around. Are we going to go live? I say we're live already. To all our friends, we're live. We're live already. We're live already. We're live already. We're live already. Welcome to Etoile Europe Leadership Conversation. And we have a big conversation ahead of us. And the next, I don't know how many weeks, in the next as long as we can take this, because this is the lion topic. I believe this is the big topic. So I want as many people today, please join with us, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, invite family, invite friends, invite loved ones to be with us on this conversation today. It is leadership in Africa. It is leadership in Africa. It is leadership in Africa. And I just want to encourage as many people today. Join on your laptop, join on your YouTube, join whatever gadget you can use today. Get around some people as well, and let's have a conversation together. And today I also have a fantastic guest with us today who is going to be, conversing with us, on this topic. Is going to be the first to talk with us on this very big topic today, in the midst of many things going on, especially in Africa at the moment. I have with me tonight the former Deputy Vice Chancellor of Ekiti State University, a philosopher, a seasoned philosopher. And when I say a seasoned philosopher, oh my God, you need to know what I'm talking about. An orator to the core, a banker as well, a leadership consultant, an elder statesman, a businessman as well. Please, tonight, I want to bring right on board tonight with me is Professor Francis Wale Olajide. Please welcome Professor Francis Wale Olajide tonight. Professor, it is nice to have you, sir. It is nice to have you.
Very
Say
kind
something to
of
the
you.
viewers.
Very kind of you to have me. Itwala has blazed so much trail,
Hmm, hmm,
and the concern of Itwala
hmm.
is so central to the
Fantastic.
progress not only of governments
Hmm,
all around the world,
hmm.
but concern for humanity itself
That's true.
and concern for growth, for progress.
Hmm.
Because, like we used to say, life is not just short, it is
Yes,
brief.
that's right.
And here we are, we're born without asking to be born. But now that we are in the world, at least let us make that brief period very
Yes,
pleasant for ourselves.
true,
And
true.
few people who are in positions to take care of us, it's better for them not to mess up. But
That's true.
unfortunately, some are just playing bad games,
Wow,
and
wow,
this is
wow.
not fair. This is
Hmm,
not fair on humanity,
hmm,
and I think this is why
hmm,
Itwala has chosen for itself
hmm.
a noble cause that it should pursue with
Hmm.
all its strength, with all determination, because the vision is clear and the goal is clear. Thanks
Fantastic.
for thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome, sir. It's such a great honor to have you as well. And I don't think we can have a better opening statement than that, really. And I think you just tied it. We could finish, we could just come to an end of this program with that one opening statement, really, because that summarizes, all that we're talking about. So tonight, yet again, as I said, we have with us tonight Professor Francis Wale Olajide, a very seasoned philosopher, the former deputy vice chancellor in one of the great universities in Nigeria, West Africa, Africa. and a great orator who has worked in different sectors within the banking, with governments, an orator. And I think we're surely going to have a wonderful time. And for those who will be joining us tonight, and those who will also watch this broadcast at a later time as well, because we notice that quite a lot of people tune in during the week as well. But as we start off today, my dear Prof, we
Yeah.
have big, huge topic or theme or focus ahead of us, which is leadership in Africa. We did a program early in the year, and we said leadership determines everything. And also, we're quite aware that Africa determines a whole lot of things in our world today. I listened to the Secretary of State of the United States says the elections in Nigeria is not just about Nigerians, but it's about the whole world. That whatever happens in Nigeria affects our world. Nigeria is the most populous nation in Africa. Out of 1.2 or 1.4 billion people, Nigeria takes almost about 200 and something million of that, 200 and something million of that, and it's still growing. So we cannot, about not, focus on the things that is going on in these places. But firstly, our thought is more about what do you think about, or what would you say leadership is within the context of leading the nation? Because that's our focus. Leadership, now we know we look at leadership in different contexts in our own personal self. Everyone is born a leader, but we want to look at leadership in the context of leading a nation. What do you really say about that? What do you see about that? What is it? What is leading a nation all about? And I think you already touched on it, or even with your opening statement.
Thank you very much. Uh, Leadership. Well, let me zero on the concept itself, and simply I'll say leadership is a disposition that is kickstarted by a vision.
True.
Leadership is kickstarted by a vision. And this is where I sometimes say, for some, it's spontaneous. Ability to catch that vision is spontaneous. But kickstarting it can fall into perhaps three perspectives. It can be kickstarted by an agent outside of yourself. And we have a clear case in the Bible when God called Moses. I have a mission for you. You are going to do this for my people.
Hmm.
That's an agent outside inviting you to come and run with this vision.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
could be a case of self awareness. And that self awareness also must be for the same reason that there is a vision. I
Hmm.
see my people. I think I can do something about my people.
Hmm.
And then you now run with that vision.
That's true. That's true.
And we have cases like that in
So,
politics,
wow.
in Africa.
Okay.
We have all over. Is it in Nyerere? Is it Lumumba? Is it Awolowo? These
Mhm.
are people who caught the vision themselves. Say, I can improve the life of my people.
That's
Is it
right.
Martin Luther King Jr.?
That's it. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi? And so on. And also, it could be by appointment. You are sitting down quietly in your house, and some people have put their heads together and say, "This is the man that can do it." So
Hmm.
you can be called
Hmm.
by the people. You can be called by a remote agent, and you can have this awareness by yourself. But one thing is key to all these sources that can throw up leadership. It is vision. It
Wow.
is
Wow.
vision.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
That means definitely you're saying to us that in the context of leading a nation, you cannot really lead a people without a vision.
You cannot. You cannot.
So,
Because it just means that it should be a case of a blind leading the blind. You must see, you must see where you want to take them.
okay,
And you must see that picture very clearly. Yes.
I'm going to take you on board on that very line that you just said right now. So, can we really say that leadership in the context of our developing world, and we zero in on Africa right now? Are you? Can we say we in the generation we have right now? Do we truly have leaders with vision? Do we still have leaders with vision? Or why is what is wrong with a vision? Well, I knew you mentioned some people. Okay, all those people, some of them are long gone.
They're
Now
long
we have
gone.
some people. We have some people there right now. I'm worried. What do you think?
I think your worry is genuine. I think
Hmm.
your worry is a sincere one. Because as you were asking that question, my mind quickly raced around the continent of Africa.
Wow.
And sad to say, I can't even begin to discover many outside my five fingers. And that
Wow.
makes it so sad, as wide as Africa is.
Hmm.
As
Hmm.
wide as Africa is, I can't, one must be able to mention quickly if there are visionaries around, but I can't find them, you know. I can't
Wow.
find them, and that is sad.
Wow.
That
I
is
think
sad.
that is, if there's any word after sad, I think I want to look for that, because if we have over 95 or 99% or 98% of our continent being ruled or led by people
Who are
who have,
visionless.
oh dear. Okay, so that's a worry. So are we saying that means, okay? Let me think about this. Somebody was asking a question that, is it possible for we to have leaders, or can our leaders not lead our continent just like they lead in the Western world as well? What is the problem? Why is that a challenge? Because and I know sometimes people always want to stay in power. I don't know why. For a long time, wants to serve 3 4 times. So what is the problem with that? Why are we not able to do the same thing?
Yeah,
Because we have examples of them.
absolutely. I go around every time I travel, I come to Europe, go around, go visit America, and I keep wondering. I see huge buildings, I see good roads,
Hmm.
lights, electricity, stable, water is running, it's piped into the house even before you occupy the house. Same with gas. And I keep wondering, why is this not possible where I'm coming from? And the answer is simple. Government, be it welfareism, be it capitalism or whatever,
Hmm.
is always about the people.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when you when you zero it on the people, what you need to give is service.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
that service must be selfless. It must be selfless.
Leadership must give service to the
Service
to the
for
people.
the people.
Can I interrupt you quickly? Somebody said
Please.
something, put something on the platform right now. It says, and thank you so much, the person that did this, Dandov 10. It said, a visionary leader must surround himself or herself with equally visionary companions. Wow, wow.
That's
Okay,
great. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. You need to
That's
surround yourself
great.
with people that can see what you're saying, or rather that you can show to them what you're saying, that will probably run with it as well.
Yes.
Because you
Yes.
could have great vision and surround yourself with the wrong set of people, and it will look like you can't see anything. Okay, now I'm going to go back to what you just said, that leadership must be about service to the people.
To the people.
Now, but
Now,
that statement, it sounds like a challenge in Africa.
if you are going to offer service to the people, if that is all leadership entails, then you must see the people. You must know the people.
See the people,
You
know the
know
people.
the
Yeah.
people. You
Okay.
must be very familiar with their problems.
Wow. That means you need to know what, if you don't know what they're going through, you can actually help them with what they're going through.
You cannot lead them to nowhere. In fact,
Wow.
I have to go back to the Bible quickly.
Mhm.
I'm not. You won't call me a religious
A
person.
religious person. Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I think some large crowd followed Jesus into the desert.
That's right.
And when the night was falling, the
Yes.
disciples came to him and said, "Well, I think we better send these people
Send these
back
people
to
away.
town. Let's call it the day."
In fact, that gives
And
me a
it's
concern about those followers. They have a different perspective. They wanted to
they
get rid of
have
the
they,
people.
yes, they couldn't they have not finally keyed in into the whole mission of Christ. They said, "No, no, 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 no. Is it let make them sit down. What do we have in our purse?"
Wow.
And they said, "There's a little boy here with this and that." And he says, "Make them sit down comfortably," because he appreciated, he saw through the people. What are their needs? He saw through the people. He saw
Mm.
them as human beings waiting to be served, having to be
Wow.
served. But not so now. And you talked about the people surrounding our leaders. I mean,
Mm. Mm.
where, who are these people? They've seen whoever they call leaders. I don't call them leaders, unfortunately. I call them opportunists,
Wow.
because the three ways of introducing a leader with that kind of spontaneity,
Mm.
these people don't have. They don't have it. They
Mm.
don't have it. That's
Wow.
why in Africa we can talk about election rigging and so on, people forcing themselves on the people. It's a simple thing. Here in the UK, you don't even know that election is going on.
Going
You
on.
hear about it on the news,
Yes.
but that's all. You
Yes.
can even you will vote by proxy. If you don't want to leave your house, you can vote from anywhere, and it goes quietly. Now
Yes.
people are killing one another. The first thing is to deal with, they will reject, the opposition will reject the outcome of the election, a
Mm.
process that you have spent people's money that you ought to use to provide infrastructures for them. So,
Mm.
who are they
Mm.
taking care of? Why must you fight because you want to serve? No, you don't have to.
You know,
You don't have to.
this is a very interesting thing because all over Africa, I don't know why we fight in order to get into those leadership contexts. You know, they started the discussion again. A fight is a conflict is already brewing up between the Rwanda and the DRC. If you know that story, generally it's a big one.
Yes,
I think we can
yes.
take in the context of this broadcast. We've got to go there one of these days, and it's all because elections is coming as well. And you said something that really hit home, that leadership must be a serving leadership that is there to serve the people, is there to serve the people. But it looks like we have just opportunists right now, or
Yes.
manipulators. Well, we call them professional manipulators. But
That would
then
be
now
apt.
look at what right now. In fact, let's fast forward right now. So we have this big election going on right now in the Republic of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which
Mhm.
is, oh my God, it's a big and huge process going on right now. Not to talk about the amount of people in the country, the money that's been invested in that election, and this is to choose a new leader. There's about to be a change. Okay, now in the context of this right now, what do you think the country of Nigeria needs, after this buhaha? Now we don't know
Yes.
what is going to happen, because now we've been trying to resolve this election since Saturday. So Sunday, we're in Monday. I don't think we're going to get any announcement today as well. Maybe by tomorrow or sometimes middle of the week. But then after this cloud blows off, hopefully, what is it that the country or the people of Nigeria, what should they be expecting to get out of all this? Because we can't go through all of this and get nothing. And it looks like that has been the cycle over the years. So I want to, I don't know if you can give us hope, give these people some hope here.
Again, I have to fall back on the issue I've raised about the people, and whoever wants to lead must first recognize that the people are there.
Yes, recognize
their pains are real.
Their pain points, yeah, we call it pain points.
Yes.
Yes.
Their pains are real, and I have the capacity. Either you have been so chosen by a spontaneous awareness, or an outside agent is calling you, but you must have a vision.
Yes.
And that vision must be defined by the kind of service you think you can render to the people. So my first question is, all those who have stepped on, put themselves on the soapbox, do they see people in front of them? Do they see human beings in front of them? Are they bothered that people don't have water to drink? Are they bothered that they don't have electricity? Are they bothered that people are not going to school? Are they bothered about farmers who can no longer stay on the farm? Years back, subsistence farming was still keeping the ship of the nation sailing.
That's right. That's right.
And
yes.
That was because we had federalism, where the leaders that came forward knew how best they wanted to take care of their people.
Of their people.
Of their people. And since the exit of Awolowo and his disciples, let me just focus on the West.
That's in Nigeria now.
In Nigeria, we've always had leaders, political leaders, coming forward to say, this is my manifesto. I have 5 cardinal programs.
Yes.
Hold me accountable on these programs. But since the opportunists came in, nobody talks about, these are my cardinal programs. This is where I'm taking you. This is my vision.
So leadership just runs without direction and meaning now.
Exactly. So you can call up any so-called leaders today in our climb and say, sorry, where are you taking these people? Where are you taking us? It's easy to talk about, oh, I will make your roads, I will give you water. But these are the things you ought to do in the first place. You are not doing us a favor. You are calling us into the desert. In fact, that was again what happened, where Moses seems to be slow on delivering service. And the people said to him, look, if you knew you were calling us to this desert to kill us, you might as well have left us where we're coming from.
In fact, we didn't have to do this election. I think in the context of today, we just say we don't need to do these elections. If you're not going to take us anywhere.
If you are not going to take us anywhere.
But then that means also we have a problem here. Do the people even know the kind of leader that they want?
I think they do, because I've listened to a couple of folks, discussing this. I think they do, and you can just label their desire on needs. Their needs. What do they want? We want life made more convenient. So we need water, we need electricity, we need education for our children, we need accessible health. That's all they're asking. They're not asking for too much. Nobody is going to query CBN or query any bank to find out how much money they have salted. No, they are not interested. But they want to be sure that this man
They-
with his administration has them in mind. It's sad when they want to drum up aid for Africans. They will show children with kwashoko, with flies perching on their mouth, noses, and so on in a bad shape. But that is an indictment on the leaders. So we now need the West to make that advert so that people will contribute to make these things happen. It's an indictment.
I don't think that will never solve our problem.
It
That
wouldn't.
doesn't. It will never. Giving aids to us is not the solution for to what we have at hand. It's
Because
we. Yes, sir. Go on, sir.
yeah, I want to say that any governments that will serve us, apart from advocating for federalism, where each sector takes care of its own, must be based on the culture of that land. Because culture calls up responsibility.
That's true. That's true. Culture
Among
calls up
some people, you dare not steal. Because if
That's
it's
true.
steal, it rubs up on your heritage, it rubs up on the name your forefathers have built for themselves. And you don't want to soil that name, so you don't. Try it. I remember when I was assisting late Professor Mabo Gunje, God rest his soul, to establish the community bank project.
Okay. Yeah.
It was easy in some area to establish community banks because they can easily point to those who are managing those funds. And if anybody misbehaves with their funds, they know how to go to their houses and query them. And nobody wanted that. So
Now,
until we begin to appreciate the base culture to run in the family, or sorry, in governance, perhaps we'll not be getting it. That was what Japan did. That was what
yes,
China did.
China did. Yes, that's true. And it
They
totally revolutionized the nations.
absolutely, you can't turn them around. You
Wow.
can't turn them around, and it formed the basis of their education policy. You must know your culture. You must know this culture. You must imbibe all the ethics of it. Now, what do we have? We have the youth running away with some funny cultures. You
Yes,
can't
yes.
even define whether they've lost it all.
Well, they
They
learnt it. They learnt it from the bad examples that they're seeing now. No more role models.
no
You
more role
know,
models.
no
No
more
more
role
role
models.
models.
So literally, this old bad example is what is producing this new generation or next generation that is already. We don't know whether it's going to go. You know,
That's
really
why
a
it's an aberration to refer to some of our youth as leaders of tomorrow. I think we've lost that.
yes.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It doesn't
Prof,
add up.
Prof,
Yes.
you know, we our time is almost out, and we're still literally we're on introduction, one, one introduction, and that's why I said this is a monster, is a monster topic, because Africa is the only world left. It is the world that is untapped. It's the one with the potential that has so much in it, yet it's not even dug into it yet. We have what the world is waiting for, and
Yes.
we're starting off on a very very wrong footing right now. And I think this is why this is a topic that we really need to do a lot of justice to. Tonight we're going to pause here, but Prof, definitely know that you will have to continue on this conversation maybe next week, and we have some other people that are going to join us as well to begin to talk about this, and we might need to tell our broadcast, we need extra more time for this, because this is really, really serious. If Africa collapses, the world is in trouble. And running away in the name of, there's a tag right now, I don't know if everybody around the world knows, this is one thing that Nigeria and some other countries in Africa are now known for, is the word they call Japa. Is everybody else on an exodus out of Africa, while the big players are coming into Africa. And that should tell us something. Even our leaders are not even thinking about it. That should inform them. If people from outside are coming in and the people inside are running out, that means somebody's got something wrong. We got it all twisted up.
Absolutely.
However, tonight we're going to pause. But one thing I'm going to leave you with, especially that our professor said tonight, the leaders in Africa right now, for us to get Africa going, we need leaders that would understand the people that they want to lead, understand their needs, be familiar, be close to them, because the people that you don't know, you can't lead them. You need to understand what their need is. Then you must be willing to serve. We don't have servant leaderships anymore in our country. And I think that is one of our major problems. We have men and women that lord it over us. And I think this is a very, very important area, that especially people now that are vying for political positions in government and things like that, we've got to understand the reason why we're going to these places. I leave you with these thoughts, because the leaders that we're choosing, they're from amongst us. They're from our families. They're from our clans. They're from within us. Do you think those people can serve us? Do you think they understand our needs? Do you think they are just manipulators? They've come to us, sought for our votes, then we give them the vote, and they distance themselves from us. This is something for us to think about. Until next week, same time, on the same channel, Ituala Europe Leadership Conversation. We look forward to seeing you again while we continue this conversation on leadership in Africa. And also we continue to run this special edition, especially with the major elections that's still ongoing in the country of Nigeria, which has the potential to affect the whole of that continent and many other continents around the world itself. Thank you so much. I really want to appreciate you, Professor Wale Olajide. Thank you. But we're definitely going to have you back. We're pausing. This is press the pause button while we while we go on and soak in what we've talked about tonight, because that is a whole lot that we've talked about tonight, and that's just introduction. So thank you so much, our viewers, our delegates, our friends from all around the world. Thank you so much. And we look forward to see you same time, 9 p.m. UK time next week on the same channel. God bless you. Please listen to what Ituala is all about as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Miles Monroe Jr., and I'm the chairman of the board for the International Third World Leaders Association. Our organization was birthed to respond to and address the critical need for quality, effective leadership development and training in the emerging developing nations.
Our vision is to establish a global network of leaders from every discipline,
committed to the highest standards of excellence in leadership training, personal development,
mutual accountability, and fraternal support, implementing relevant and innovative leadership philosophy based on time-tested precepts, principles, and values.
Our mission is to influence the destiny of developing third world nations through leadership training,
personal development, supportive relationships, and global networking.
Our purpose is to provide transformational solutions
in response to the dynamic leadership needs of the emerging third world developing nations.
Our goal is to cultivate leadership commitment
to produce leaders
dedicated to the empowerment of their people,
the progressive well-being of their citizens,
and the betterment of their nation.
The strategic approach captured in the slogan coined by our founder, Dr. Miles Monroe,
was transforming followers into leaders and leaders into agents of change. Our focus is national development through transformational leadership,
transforming nations, communities from the inside out.
Join us in ushering in this new era of our organization.
We are tasked with carrying this vision forward,
and we are devoted to ensuring that we leave an unwavering legacy.
The organization that produces effective leaders
with global reach and influence.